First of all, Mr. Chukri, I want to thank you very much. You guys, watching, when I was appointed to this job by you three, and Fran, Steve Goddard was not around. You would have voted for me. You appointed me to the job, and I've been awfully serious in my approach to the job, but I also want to thank you guys again publicly for making such a wonderful vote and putting me up here with you guys, and then winning an outright election at the special election with Steve, and understanding we're the new guys. I think it's a really a great time for this county. So thank you, Steve, for a wonderful job as chairman. I would also want to talk a little bit about my family that's here today. That's my whole world. So if they don't mind standing up, my parents are here, Mom and Dad. Dad, you can maybe hobble up and get on that cane of yours. They've taught me everything I know about hard work. Thank you. My in-laws, I married into a wonderful family. Mike and Veronica Bosick are here today, so thank you guys for being here. My sister-in-law, my recently engaged sister-in-law, so she's off the market, boys, but in Faye, thank you for being here, Katrina. And representing my brothers is my wonderful sister-in-law, Audrey, wife of my brother, Glenn. I wanted to absolutely thank my brothers and my sister for when I came with a little bit of trepidation when I said, hey, I want to put my name in for the job, but I also want to keep my other job, the one that pays more. And they said absolutely. I think public service is big with this family, so I wanted to thank them publicly as well for letting me do this. Next, my family, Jennifer, and my kids, like as you already saw, Trevor, Benton, and Marcella. Thank you guys for being such a wonderful little family, making me proud. And Jen, thank you for letting me go off to these meetings all over this district, from Aguila to Buckeye, and being a wonderful, wonderful wife. Sometimes coach to the kids, father-in-law too, during their baseball and basketball, and working on that homework at night. So thank you guys for being such a wonderful family and such a support to me. So as I get into the meat and potatoes of this speech, I wanted to honor somebody. I basically made sure I called two people, and those two people are awfully special to me. The first one is Governor Jan Brewer. She's always, once a governor, always a governor to me, Jan, and you've been so supportive. I remember the phone call when you said you were getting behind me for this job because you knew what this job entailed. So I want to thank you and give you just did everything right for the state, and you did everything you could for the state, and you still work for the state. So thank you for being here today. And the support that goes with Jan Brewer also means she keeps her eyes on everyone. So I'm sure I'll need your help keeping your eyes on all of us and make sure that they do a wonderful job up here. Next, Max Wilson. Max had to retire early due to health reasons, and those same health reasons keep him away today, but he sends his love, affection, and best to everybody that is still working here day after day for this county. So thank you, Max, for providing the chair that I sit in right now and being such a wonderful steward of taxpayer dollars for the West Valley and the county as a whole. So thank you, Max. Under Chairman Chukri, 2015 was a year of great accomplishments for Maricopa County. We adopted a conservative, service-oriented budget, virtually the same level of spending in 2008, which was 7 years ago. We also established a prudent 2-month cash reserve for emergencies, so think about that. As the legislature talks about rainy day funds, we did our best to make sure that we provided services, but also kind of built a bank account to give our own employees the thought that if everything goes to chicken manure in the fan and as it hits, we still have 2 months of reserve to try to right the ship and make sure everybody's got a job to come to. and to service our people. So that's important to me. We made critical but calculated investments in public safety, technology, cybersecurity, and flood control that will help protect our citizens from Queen Creek all the way to Wickenburg. Maricopa County earned 47 NACO awards last year, more than any other county in the nation, and I think that speaks extremely well of the transition between Andy to Denny and then into Steve, because we continue to ask our agencies for innovation and they continue to perform. All I'm asking is for 48 NACO awards in my time. Our correctional health services, in collaboration with the nation's best sheriff, was selected as the finest in the nation. That's something to be proud of because it wasn't always like that. The IDA, the Industrial Development Authority, was honored by GPEC for its wide range of economic and community and development efforts. So thank you, Shelby, for that group and how hard they work. It's been a very good year, but we're still at a rare moment of uncertainty and challenge. This year, I want us to reevaluate our economic development system. Over the next year, I think we should wean ourselves off of general fund dollars and work closely with this county's IDA on exploring and partnering to spur job growth. We need to continue to look for innovation. We have very few dollars in that pot that we can help, but I think we need to do a better job with that and keep trying. As stewards of taxpayers' money, we owe it to them to ensure we are meeting the needs of our community. To me, economic development means providing the basics and not subsidies to out-of-state business. Our focus should be on local firms and local residents, the men and women who earn their wages and invest their money in Maricopa County. These are the people who create the vast majority of the jobs. At this point, I'd like to talk a little bit about local business, of which I am a proud proponent. I'd like Kimber Lanning and I, Kimber's here today. I'm sitting next to the First Lady of the county, Helen Purcell. Kimber was voted, I believe, Activist of the Year for Arizona, and what I really appreciate of her is that she's a proactive activist for local business. She owns 3 separate businesses and the founder of Local First Arizona, which she started personally in 2003, and is now the largest local business advocacy group in the country. So you should be very proud of that, Kimber. I've been with you at every step of the way, but just watching how hard you work and travel the state and other states to learn and bring this network together. And it all started, she kills me for this, but my older brother and her older brother played on the same Glendale Little League team, and I still remember playing in the sandbox with you. And you not covering me up, so I appreciate that. Speaking of which, later in today's meeting, we will be voting to extend the moratorium on increased regulatory burdens. I championed this when I first took office in 2013 with the support of my colleagues. Today, we will extend it until December 2017, and that's, I think, very important. Business needs a consistent regulatory environment, and I think we have that, and now with our EROP process, we are continually trying to refine it. That's what this board does well. That's what the stakeholders do, so I'm very happy that we're considering it again. Along the same lines, I strongly believe the county must continue to strive on making it easier for the businesses to do business in Maricopa County. So this year, I'm calling on our procurement office to reach out and meet directly with local businesses and introduce these potential buyers to our e-procurement programs. Let's remove any obstacles businesses may be facing and better educate local businesses about our own procurement processes, which is good for job creation and good for our local economy. I believe that small businesses here do not really have the ability to understand what it takes to deal with a larger government. So Andy and I have been working to establish maybe a couple symposiums to get some of this network, working with Kimber, to talk to our procurement offices, and why not offer business to local. I'm not against, believe me, I'm not against out-of-state businesses. There's a lot of out-of-state businesses that purchase eggs. So, not against them, but looking at Kimber and how she's proactive in establishing local business, my intent is to grab these businesses of 2 or 3 people and let's try to build within and get them to be 6 or 10 or 15. Last year at this event, Supervisor Chukri called on us to form what he called a collaborative approach to county government. I'll pull out a couple examples. One such example of this is Supervisor Gallardo's forthright effort to alleviate homelessness. His sincere passion working with the Tumbleweed Center and this population. I look forward to supporting and collaborating with him to find long-term solutions that not only us, not only the city of Phoenix, but other mayors around the community can support. Maybe that might be building low-demand shelters where services are available. Maybe it might be building a major center here, or just providing service to these people to get them rolling again. There are other examples I want to push forward. The Safe Sleep Initiative. In 2014, 46 deaths occurred in Maricopa County alone, and these are deaths of little babies in cribs. So, contrast that, statewide, 31 deaths due to drownings. So we see an advertising program to keep your kids safe around pools, but who knew the kids were dying in their cribs? So my wife and I will be working on that. I said I wasn't going to get emotional. Now I'm looking at my kids. Now I know what you're going through, Steve. I won't look at you guys. Supervisor Barney, whose zest for policy detail and his fearless embrace of innovation have made him a persuasive advocate, joining with County Attorney Montgomery, Sheriff Arpaio, our superior courts, justice courts, legal defenders, and other criminal justice agencies on the Maricopa County Justice Program. Denny said, hey, I want to continue to work on this topic. And I think he is the one. He's an attorney. He understands the law. He understands statutory authority, but he also understands innovation as a business owner. So I applaud your efforts in this, Denny. Good luck. Hope you bring to bear all that Denny can. So I appreciate your service in that aspect. It's time to promote the right treatment at the right level, to maximize the rehabilitation and positively influence an inmate's likelihood not to reoffend. With half of the county's $2 billion budget appropriated to public safety and the county criminal justice system, collaboration with our criminal justice system is critical. One of the latest elements in reducing recidivism will be creating community-based solutions linking ex-offenders with programming and actual employment opportunities. I'm going to go back a couple months ago. I was giving a speech to a challenge group of kids talking about, the old, keep everything straight. And Mary Ellen Shepard came up to me and said, Clint, you're the perfect one. I've got this idea. So I'll explain the idea. This year, with a program called Clean Start, I want our Human Resources Department to move swiftly forward on probationers to serve Maricopa County jails and other county departments in specific tasks like food preparation, laundry service. Ex-offenders gain experience, skills training, and good life habits. I've seen this in action. As you guys might know, my family celebrated our 20th year of working with the Department of Corrections and Arizona Correctional Industries to give current inmates a chance and the skill set at our farms to learn how to get back to work. And I think it's time that the county looks a little bit harder because we need to get these people back to work. We lose people at our lowest ends, I guess, on the ladder, but it's not in a bad thing. When we lose them, it's usually to the public sector, and they get paid more. That's what we need to do. So if we can get probationers into work and start paying into taxes rather than relying on benefits, I think this county will be better served. Look at Andy. Andy wants to put him to work. Thank you, Andy. Another inaugural event, I'll speak about another supervisor that's near and dear to me. It begins in 2.5 weeks. We'll showcase our regional park system. Supervisor Andy Kunasic's 16-year vision of connecting all of our county parks via the Maricopa County Trail. On January 23rd, Supervisor Andy Kunasic and an estimated 200 mountain bike riders will participate in the Prickly Pedal Race. It will showcase the largest regional park system in the nation to share in the experience of racing on our Maricopa County trails. So many of you haven't seen this, but we've probably lost Andy for the last 3 months because he's had a real passion for this event, getting sponsors and everything else. And why is that? Because he wants to show just what is happening out there in our park system and in our trail system. And I am extremely fortunate that this race, this inaugural race, starts in Peoria at our county park at Lake Pleasant. So thank you for that, Andy. I think it's going to be an awesome event. I know my colleagues are going to get out there, Steve, on your tandem, and we're going to ride a little bit with you, okay? So warning Michelle about we won't be talking business out there. So thank you for your hard work in that, Andy. The Nature Conservancy in Arizona has partnered with our Parks and Recreation Department with similar future foresight to include the lush 777-acre Hassayampa River Preserve, a veritable oasis in the desert with marshlands and flowing water into our park system. I think we need to run that down to ground and see if we can offer that up as a county park and protect it. What a great gem it could be added into our regional system. Also, the 70,000-acre park at Vulture Mountain with visitor center, trailheads, and campgrounds in an underserved region of the county. It's time we move ahead on this project, and we need to continue to look to advance our park and trail system in that way. I didn't get that either. One other priority for this new year will be to carefully implement the merit reform initiatives led by Supervisor Chukri, which is injecting efficiency, flexibility, and common sense into our hiring process. We are not finished in eliminating costly delays in hiring. We need to get the right people working. We need to give our workforce the proper tools to do their job. We need to make good on our promise of providing quality service and an appropriate return on our investment. Steve, that was an awesome task you took on. Again, my kudos to you bringing some business style to county government. And I know that we have a lot of workers, and sometimes people are troubled with change, but I think you've been doing this the right way, getting educated, educating us about it, and continuing on. So I applaud you for that. I applaud you for that. You know, it's important. I don't know if they're going to slide up a picture, but this is something else that Supervisor Barney and Supervisor Chukri did. The strategic planning session. We had a strategic planning session at CSA this year where all the electeds got together, got to sit around a table, and we had, there it is. Hey, they juiced it up too, how nice. You don't see this in other counties. You know, I traveled around with CSA, and I've never heard anything like this. But we all got to sit together, and a very big job of all of us, for all 5 of us, is setting the budget and budget priorities. And this gave everyone the ability to talk about how well the county works, what we need to work on, where the revenues need to go. And it's just a very nice thing to get so many intelligent heads together and talk about it. And I think this is one of those pictures of just a wonderful new beginning for the county. So again, Steve and Andy for putting that together. And Steve for participating, and thank you, elected heads, for putting, again, our heads together in a proactive and collaborative way. Together we can fight for what is right and create an environment where employees are compensated fairly. I'll bring it one of the last tasks that I feel is central to what I'm already doing. I've been visiting the legislature. The state legislature is the challenge we face in getting this done. Regrettably, we have not convinced lawmakers that a tax shift is not the same as a tax cut. Added to our long list of challenges this year, it would be helpful if we had a reliable partner at the state capitol. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is we continue to use county taxpayer dollars to fund state services or state departments. As Denny pointed out to me, hey, maybe they're trying to tell us to do something different, and I think that's great, Denny. Denny said, why don't they, if they're going to give us the cost of it, why are they not giving us the ability to affect the change statutorily? And, Denny points out, and make sure that the revenue that we need to do this comes together. I'll talk about juvenile corrections. We've had a shift, and we're paying for quite possibly an outdated mode. And when we talk about our probation department that continues to win awards, and they have juvenile parole and we have juvenile probation, maybe there's a way, as Denny likes to say, a nexus, getting them together and trying to affect change. But we also need the money to do it. So thank you, Denny. We might be pulled into that really, really quickly. I do go in, I'm currently sweeping through the legislators in the West Valley that I know and that I have relationships with to talk to them about this very important issue. I know that my fellow colleagues are going to sweep through their legislators and talk about the very same subjects. It makes it much easier when we talk about compensation or providing new services to the taxpayer. It's nice to know that we have a money flow that's coming in that doesn't get swept away. So I will be working hard on that and already have been. I ask all of our county to join this effort. Before I say the last thing, I also wanted to say, when I go out and talk to our group, a lot of people don't understand what I think is so important about this board and Tom. We are multi-generational Native Arizonans. I think it's third generation or above. In Denny's case, is it fifth or sixth generation? So when people ask, and a lot of them say, you guys have a good thing going, why is that? And I think it's because we look not just in the short term, but we look over the horizon. You know, my parents have been here talking about how great this state is with their generation. I look at my kids' generation, and that's why we're up here. We're trying to make the county and the state a better place for them to live, because we truly believe, quite possibly, that our own grandchildren and their grandchildren might live here as well. I pray for the strength to rally you and others to our common cause and our common purpose. God bless all of you. Thank you again, Father Kieran. I think that blessing goes to all of us in leadership positions as well as being county residents. And I think it's a great day for the county. As you saw, we're going to hit home runs this year, not just singles. We're going to hit a lot of those too. Triples are good, but we're going to go for some home runs this year. And because of that, I don't think I've ever seen this, I would like, if you take a moment, I'd like a team picture. So I'd like my colleagues to come out here. We're setting up a camera this way, because I have a barren office. I want a cool team picture that I can put on my desk of all of us that work so hard for the county. So again, thank you all. Please get up, take a picture with me, and I look forward to the job.